Hi everyone, my name is Zach Soflin, and I'm here with Layer to walk through another Quick Bytes. So Quick Bytes is basically where we spend 10 minutes or less showing you all the cool things you can build inside of Layer. And today we're going to focus actually on some of the new changes that we've made to managing views inside of Layer. So views are incredibly powerful because they're ways to kind of create subsets of data within a category. One of the struggles that our users have had with views is they get unwieldy really quick. The lists of views can grow really long because of how all of the custom ways that each team member wants to slice and dice their category data. So we're going to walk through some of the new improvements we've made that should make it a lot easier to manage your views. So let's get started. So I have an example project here pulled up, and I have a couple categories inside of it. I have a product specs category, a finishes category, and a company directory. So inside of my product specs category, you can see I have a list of a view that's called all product specs. We have a view that's called chairs only, which is only going to show me my chair products. We have a gallery view that kind of shows us all of the items in a gallery layout. And then we've got some document view layouts here that basically lays out each one of these items inside of a document. There we go. And you can see we have a few different options for these layouts. So the first thing to go through here in this scenario is that right now, anyone that I invite to this project is going to have access to all of these views and all of the data inside of these particular views. But let's say that I actually just wanted to share a subset of my products with the manufacturer rep to input their product data directly inside of Layer. I don't want to give them access to the rest of my Layer project or the data inside of it. I just want to create a subset of data there. And we can do that by creating a new view. So here I'm going to essentially take and filter down this list. And we're going to say where the manufacturer contains, let's just use null as an example. And so now I have a subset of products that are from the null manufacturer here. And I can save this as a new view. And I'm going to rename this really quickly. And we'll call this null products. Cool. So you can see here in the view settings, we have a few different, a few new sections here. And the first one you'll notice is this visibility section. So Layer now allows you to set the visibility of a view to default, everyone, and just me. So what this means is default means is probably one of the more familiar ways of working with views, in that when you click default, it's kind of like it was always inside of Layer, where this view is going to show up in everybody's view list across the entire project. However, we know that a lot of times you are segmenting data in a way that you don't necessarily want every single one of these views to show up in every single person's list in the team. And so we've introduced the visibility setting of everyone. And what this means is that this view is accessible by everybody in the project, meaning that anybody can go to it if they're sent a link or anything else like that. But it's only going to show up in the list of users that have been added to that view. And so under everyone, you can see that we have this user access section where I can see exactly who has access to this view currently. And lastly, we can create views that are just available for me, which means they're private only to you, and no one else can access those particular views. We're going to set this one to everyone, and I'm going to save these changes. So now we have this null products view where I can see all of the products that are from null, and I can see all these details and examples. But again, maybe I want to actually provide this list of null products back to my manufacturer rep so that they can actually like input the product data here. And so this is another really cool thing that we've introduced recently, and that is a new permission level inside of projects called restricted. And so I'm going to go into my team settings by clicking the plus button here. And we're going to find the user that I want to add here. In this case, I want to add Skylar. And you'll see that when I assign the role, we have a new role down here called restricted. What restricted means is that Skylar is going to have access to any view that I intentionally add him to in this project, but nothing else. So in this case, I'm going to click the plus button here to add Skylar. And I'm going to go over to Skylar's layer profile to show you what it looks like inside of layer. Let me get over there really quick. All right, so we're looking at Skylar's layer projects, and you can see that this quick bytes 15 just showed up in Skylar's project list. So when he opens this up, you can see that he's going to see a limited view of category data inside of layer. And so coming back over to my profile in this project, I can quickly share specific data just with Skylar. So for example, I'm going to go to this null products category, and you can see that Skylar was already added to this, and that's because it was marked as everyone when he joined the project. But if I remove him from it, that will remove it from his list as well. I had a few other ones that were marked as everyone that I'm going to update and change. All right, and then the spec sheet 4 layout, we're going to modify that one as well. There we go. Okay, so now if we go over to Skylar's profile, you can see that he currently doesn't have access to any category data. If I come into that null products view and I add Skylar to it, which I'm doing in my other tab here, you can see as soon as I add him to that view, it's going to show up in his list of categories, and we can see that the null products is listed here. So now Skylar can click on these items and look at the information inside of just that specific view. It's limited to only the items inside of that view. So when he clicks on these, he can continue to edit all of his detail and upload cut sheets or anything else, but he is not able to edit information beyond that. So let's say that like all I actually need from him is the model name, some product images, and a cut sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over to my profile here, and I'm going to, inside the null products view, I'm going to remove everything that's irrelevant for Skylar. So I just want the model name, product images, maybe I want the unit cost as well, and the cut sheet. There we go. So when I save these changes, you'll see that when we come back over to Skylar's profile, he's now only able to see the name, the model name, the product images, the unit cost, and the cut sheet. And when he clicks on these items, you can see that those are the only properties that he's able to see and edit. So this is a really great way to scope and limit the data that teams have access to with still enabling them to edit data inside of layer. Lastly, to round out kind of the ways that we manage views and the improvements we've made to it, inside of layer, you can now click on this menu button next to every category to manage the views inside of that category. And so you can see that basically this is showing me a list of all of the views that are available to me in my product specs category. And this is where I can quickly set the visibility of these views and add and remove views from my list. So for example, let's say I want to remove all of these views from my list except for let's just do the table specs here. When I close out of this list, you can see that now only these views show up in my list. I can still navigate to these other views. Like for example, I can click here to check out this gallery, but you'll see that it doesn't show up in my sidebar. And I have this little message at the top that says you're previewing this view, and I can click here to add it to my side menu. When I do that, it'll show up now in my list. These view changes that we made are on top of already the improvements we've made to being able to favorite views inside of Layer, and to be able to create favorite folders inside of Layer as well. And so all of this together really makes big changes to like how you manage views and access data inside of Layer. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. Hopefully that helped give you kind of a snapshot of how views, you can manage views better inside of Layer, and more next week. Thank you.